my name is Margaret Wood. I'm here with Carly Armstrong. She graduated from Ole Miss in 2013, and I'm going to ask her a few questions about her experiences after Ole Miss. So Carly, tell me a little bit about how life was after the University of Mississippi.
Well, first off, what a reality check. Going from Ole Miss in Oxford to a city like Atlanta is a big time reality check for sure. Everything is different. You're not in your little bubble anymore. You're in the big city. It's totally different. But I felt like I was prepared for the real world because of Ole Miss, and I don't know. I really, everything was okay. It was a little depressing for a while, but it was okay.
So, how difficult was it for you to get a job after you graduated?
Well, I was actually very fortunate. I accepted a job in April of 2013 through an acquaintance who contacted me and asked me if I wanted to work for their company. And I went through a little interview process while I was in Oxford and accepted the job a few weeks before I moved home and started a week after graduation. And so I was one of the fortunate ones. But yeah, so it worked out well for me.
Do you think that going to Ole Miss helped or hindered you in the job market search?
Well, living in Atlanta, it's harder coming from Ole Miss because the connections that I have are in Memphis and Jackson, Oxford. The people that I met when I was in Mississippi have those connections in those towns and cities. So coming back to Atlanta, was a little bit more difficult for me. I really had to make my own and really, step out there and, get to know people myself without the connections of Ole Miss. The Alumni Association here in Atlanta has been very helpful for me. I've met a few people from Oxford, which always helps. But it was a little bit difficult, just moving to Atlanta.
What made you choose to go straight into the job market versus furthering your education?
Well, I was a little burnt out on school. I didn't want to go to grad school. I didn't want to go through the application process. I was just ready to get out of college and ready to step foot into the real world. Mm-hmm.
So do you think this was like a positive decision, or do you ever want to continue your education one day?
Maybe one day. I've thought about it. But right now I think that in the job market there's so many people, especially in our generation, who are continuing their education. And from what I've found, having your master's in business isn't going to get you much further than having your undergrad. It all really depends on who you know these days and what kind of connections you can make for yourself. Although, getting your master's might make you more qualified in certain aspects, I really do believe that the job market these days is all about your connections and who you know.
Right. So you have a lot of friends who graduated with you, and some of them even moved back to Atlanta here. How hard was it for them to find a job compared to you? You got kind of lucky, but how about them?
I've had friends that have gotten a job a month out of college. I have friends that still don't have jobs. I think it really just depends on how proactive you are in the job search. I would recommend to any recent grad to definitely look into having a recruiter, a headhunter that can get you those interviews, but you just have to find the right person that's going to help you.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard has it been, do you think? Like, just by seeing the people you've graduated with, friends from other schools, how hard was it to find a job in today's job market?
Oh, I'd say about a 6 or a 7. I would say, there are so many jobs out there that are available, but to find a job that's suitable for you is difficult.
Something you're going to be happy with.
Something you're going to be happy with. Right now, I know a lot of people that are totally in dead-end jobs and, are working at boutiques and, jobs, not careers. And I think that it's just because people are so picky in our generation. They want to work for the big corporations like Coca-Cola and the Home Depot and, the big companies that people know, rather than smaller companies, advertising firms, marketing firms. And I just think that that's our generation's mistake. And there are definitely tons of jobs out there. You just really have to find, the right way to get your foot in the door and, work your way up.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. You've been very interesting and educated us all on the job market. I really appreciate it. Thank you.